You're not the actual problem, but he needs you to believe that you are the problem, because as soon as you believe this, he wins. You lose, you stay stuck, because as long as you think that everything is your fault, you're going to keep trying to fix it. And that's where you fall into the game that he's playing with you. You'll keep chasing his approval and you'll stay stuck. How many of you feel like you've been chasing this guy's approval for a long period of time? You keep bending over backwards, trying to make him happy, even though nothing you ever do, nothing you ever say, how you show up will never be enough. And that's exactly how he keeps you trapped. That's exactly the frame that keeps you stuck. That's the manipulation, how he makes you out to be the villain. You stay trapped. How many of you feel like that today? Drop a comment down below if this is you, because you need to see that you're not alone. There's people that are suffering with this every single day. And this is part of my mission that's here to actually help you wake up and see the reality of the toxic relationship you're in. But not just see it, then have a plan to actually do something with it. If you want to know more about that, you can go to rawmotivations.com. If you haven't already, like, subscribe, rate, review, send this to someone else so they can be free from the manipulation that they're struggling with. Because when you're in the relationship, you start to think that it's love, but it's not. It's not love at all. It's actually just control. And I know this because this is who I used to be. On the other side of this, I used to make sure that I made other people feel like they were the problem. I used to make my wife feel like she was the problem, because if she was the one that was always apologizing, if she was always scrambling, trying to fix things and change who she was, that she never had time to see or the energy to actually see the truth, that I was the one doing it. There's many times that she would go through multiple stages of trying to fix herself, trying to work on herself, oftentimes going to therapy to fix her when it had nothing to do with her. It had everything to do with the trauma that I was putting her through. So when you're on here and you're seeing this, you need to understand, I understand how he does it because this is how I used to show up. But he does it in a couple of different ways. We're going to talk about several of these today. One of them is he shames you. He shames you for just having feelings. The second you bring something up, something that bothers you, something that's frustrating, he attacks you. Like, he acts like you're attacking him. So he's like, whoa, why are you even doing this? Like, why are you making such a big deal out of everything? Why are you blowing up about this? Why are you complaining about that? You're so dramatic. I can't believe you say this. Like, I can't deal with you right now. Your emotions, off the chart. Can't deal with you. And she's going to make it seem like your emotions are an inconvenience. And suddenly, instead of discussing what he did, you end up getting to a place where you're defending yourself. Instead of standing in your truth, you're second guessing. Maybe I'm actually too much. Maybe this is a problem. Maybe this is me. This isn't an accident. It's called conditioning. He's slowly training you. He's forcing you to get to a place that you show up this way every single time. He's conditioning you to be this type of person. And oftentimes he'll do the second thing, which is forcing you to prove yourself. Okay, prove it. Let me actually see. You tell him how he hurts you. And what does he say? That never happened. I don't know what you're talking about. I feel like you're just making things up at this point. Like, I don't understand. You're not even remembering it right. You're thinking of it wrong. That's not what I said. Now, instead of just holding him accountable, you're now scrambling. You're trying to compile evidence to be able to justify your reality. You're listing dates, you're listing times, you're giving examples, you're showing him text messages, pictures, as if the truth isn't enough unless he approves of it. Do you see what you're doing here? You're getting to a place that he's training you to look for his validation. He's training you to look for his approval. He's training you to say, show me proof, and then I'll believe it. And you show him proof, and he's like, I don't believe it. Nice try. Try again. Then you show him more proof, and he's like, I don't believe it. Then you get to a place where you're like, I don't even trust myself. Why? Because he's trained you not to trust yourself. He's trained you to look for his approval. But when he doesn't, when he refuses to acknowledge all the things that he did that you're showing, you start to question you. You start to doubt. You start to wonder, maybe, just maybe, that you're the problem. Then he moves into the third stage of punishing you. Punishes you for standing up for yourself, for speaking up. Maybe he shuts you down. Maybe he storms out. Maybe he gives you silent treatment. Maybe he ignores you for hours, for days, making you feel like you're the bad guy for having a boundary, for having a standard, for having like self-worth. And eventually, you stop. You no longer speak up. You start to shrink yourself down smaller and smaller, making yourself small just to keep the peace, to make it actually seem okay. And that's exactly what he wants you to do. It's exactly what he's trying to do, to keep you stuck and to keep you blaming yourself. Because at some point, you stopped trusting in who you were. You started believing in what he created. At some point, you started believing the version of you that he designed. The one who's always wrong, always emotional, always the cause of the problem. You started to believe in that. But let me tell you something. That version of you, it's a lie. He built that version of you. He conditioned that version of you. Because a woman that stands in power can't be controlled. And he's worried about that. And the moment you start reclaiming your reality, the moment you start trusting your own strength again, you start trusting your own mind, you start trusting who you are, his power of you starts to disappear. And he doesn't like that. He's going to get pissed off. He might ramp up the abuse and make it even worse. But we need to understand you have to start someplace. Which first off means you need to stop justifying your feelings. You don't need his permission to be hurt. You don't need his permission to feel. You don't need to explain why something felt wrong. You don't need to justify that that's what happened. If it hurt you, that's enough. Period. Give yourself some grace and understand. If he hurts you, feel it. The second thing is stop playing his games. He's going to twist your words. He's going to rewrite history. He's going to do anything to make you feel like you need to prove yourself. It is all a game. It is all illusion. Don't take the bait. Because what he's trying to do is make sure if I can get her to do this, she'll stay stuck. If he denies it, if he minimizes it, walk away. Why? Because he's trying to condition you on another level to accept only his version of reality, to only go after his approval and not after reality. The next thing you need to do is you need to start trusting yourself. Again, you need to give yourself grace. You need to write things down. You need to say it out loud. You need to believe yourself. And you write down the things that he did to you and review it, because otherwise your mind will be like, it wasn't that bad. The most dangerous thing he ever did was make you doubt your own mind, was make you doubt your reality, was make you doubt that you're worthy, that you're wonderful, that you are worthy of love and connection. But you need to find a way to be able to ground yourself, to understand the facts of the situation. Otherwise, he's going to continue to confuse you. You need to find a place that's going to support you. This could be friends and family, could be a coach, could be a community that's going to validate you and understand. Because a lot of times we'll find people that they have friends and family that are there to support, but they don't get it. They don't understand. They don't understand why you keep cycling back. They don't understand why you're struggling. They don't understand. What I've created is a community of women that understand you. Because they've been through it. They've been through the muck. They've been through all the fog. They've been through the isolation. They've been through all the different pieces. And they know and they understand who you are. So you're not going to get people that are just like, you just leave, just move on, just get over it. Why? Because they know the struggle. They know the internal, the mental battle that you're fighting with. That you have to work through this process of thinking, I'm still the problem. And they're like, no, you're not. We thought we were the problem too. You're not. If you're ready to take your power back, if you're ready to stop second guessing yourself, this is your next step. Go to rawmotivations.com/breakthrough. An opportunity for you to see and understand a video from myself, from my wife, and make the next step to be able to join people that get you, that understand you. You need to understand he never needed you to be the problem. He just needed you to believe that you were. Because if you believed that you were, you would stay stuck no matter what. It's time to get free.
You've been told it's all your fault, and that makes you feel crazy. No one understands you, and that leaves you in a place of being alone. You've tried to break free multiple times, and that leaves you helpless because nothing you've done has actually worked. It hasn't actually got you free or liberated from this toxic relationship. So you feel crazy, alone, and hopeless. Guess what? That's a lie. Because all it is how you've been raised and conditioned inside of this abusive relationship over and over. And as a result, you've sacrificed your growth, you've sacrificed your worth, and you've been trapped inside of a toxic relationship. What if I showed you the path to freedom? A way for you to actually get free mentally and emotionally from the toxicity that's happening right here, right now. You deserve more. You deserve to be able to heal. And I want to help you with that. If I can help you with that, go to rawmotivations.com/breakthrough. Schedule a call there and let's talk.